United Indy agents, I want to talk about a subject that continues to be confusing for agents, and the reason is because it is in fact confusing, at least in my opinion. What we're going to be talking about are these lines in the purchase agreement and how they interact with each other. That is lines 88, 94, and 95. The way those parts of the contract interact with each other. A lot of times on line 94, it'll say something like, or line 94 and 95, we're going to close on this date or within 3 days of final loan approval. And there are agents out there that think that if you don't get final loan approval, then the contract just goes on indefinitely until you get that final loan approval, and then you have 3 days to close after that. And that's just not true. You and I, we all know that in order for a contract to be enforceable, it has to have some kind of ending date or some kind of contingency that will automatically terminate the contract to be enforceable. So to just go on indefinitely, that is not the case. So I want to run through an example with you to kind of help explain how those lines interact with each other. So I've already showed you that part of the contract. So let's go with this scenario here. We have a contract date of September 1st. On line 88, everybody agreed that the buyer would have 3 weeks, 21 days for final loan approval. That would put it at final loan approval would be necessary by September 22nd. That's 3 weeks after beginning the day after September 1st. On line 94, they have a closing date of September 21st. And then on line 95, everybody agreed that the buyer would have up to 3 days after final loan approval to close. So what we do is, if it doesn't close on the 21st, as written on line 94, the buyer would have 3 days after final loan approval, but there is a limit to that. And what you do is you take the number of days that everybody agreed to here. So in the scenario I'm talking about, I said 3 weeks, so that's 21 days, plus the number of days written here, I said 3 days. So that gives us a total of 24 days. You take the number of days, 24, beginning the day after the agreement, so that begins on September 2nd, and that means that you would have to have an amendment extending the closing signed by all parties, agreed to by all parties in order to extend the contract and keep it alive. You would have to have that by September 25th. I hope that helps this make sense. If it comes up and you're getting close to those dates and you need clarification, I do fully understand it, so I want you to give me a call. But it is confusing, I admit, but that's how those time frames interact with each other. So watch this video again if you need to, or you can just give me a call. I hope you guys are all enjoying this beautiful weather we have outside. Thanks.